My hair. Portals. This is not my favorite terrain.
But that doesn't mean I know nothing, and the only way out is through.
So I'm really not prepared at all for this. That portal popped up so quickly and I just hopped through because I didn't know if it was gonna disappear again. And so I'm pretty much starting from level 1. I don't have anything with me.
This will be quite the learning experience, but in a way, it can be nice to start fresh sometimes.
So first in this terrain, I'm probably gonna have to do a little bit of climbing, both to get a lay of the land and also hopefully to find shelter and maybe a source of water. Obviously, I wish I had my rucksack and my haversack with me, but in a certain light, having that much stuff dangling off of you and having to carry it is gonna be potentially dangerous while you're climbing this much.
I want to make sure that everything I have is strapped down to me because I don't want to lose anything, and I don't want my center of gravity or balance to be thrown off. And I'm going to secure my cloak the Aragorn way with a tump line over my shoulder tied tightly. This is a very effective method for carrying cloaks or blankets, which can be fairly bulky and hard to fit into a bag. That is one of the flaws of the new invented haversack as well. You can fold it over and belt things into it, and that works great for general hiking, but I know if I rolled my cloak up in it and went to climb around, it would eventually fall out because of the angles. I've done my best to make my kit as streamlined as possible, because on difficult terrain like this, it can be very dangerous. If you jump and land well, but your gear keeps moving, that could pull you off balance and hurt you.
The ends of this very conveniently go onto the edges of my shield, and I should be able to carry everything I need.
Here I am highly concerned with the traction of these shoes. I've never really tested them in terrain like this. My instinct, based on other climbs I have done, is that these will not have enough traction to take me very far. A walking stick is great for helping you maintain balance, but I'm probably going to have a hard time finding one amongst all of this brush. In terrain like this, loose rocks are not super common, but they can be scary, so I always treat areas as if they could be treacherous even if they look stable, especially if the rocks are small or surrounded by sand. And especially when I know I can't rely on traction to save me and I have no ankle support. I'll make sure most of my weight is on my standing leg and then just test my next step with my working leg. I'm not kicking the rocks I want to step on. You want to use controlled force. Sudden movements could throw you off balance, and you don't want to have to catch yourself if you don't know the ground around you is stable. Even if the rock gives a little bit, you can sense how much movement the rock is going to have. If it just teeters and then stops, like a chair with a leg that is slightly shorter than the others, you're probably fine. And feeling secure is what makes it safe for you to explore.
Speaking of security, I'm happy to say this video is sponsored by Aura. Aura boasts a suite of online protection and privacy tools to keep you and your family safe online. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information online or on the dark web and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Some of the opt-out requests looked very long and complicated, so I'm grateful that Aura automatically removes each of them for me because I was apparently registered with 16 data brokers. Aura is really easy to set up. I don't have to download multiple programs, keep track of multiple accounts, and best of all, I get everything at one affordable price. Aura also has every other feature I could possibly want all in one convenient place. Antivirus software, a VPN, password management, parental controls, and identity theft insurance. It's like having a battalion of rangers to protect all of the territories of my online presence. And like a ranger, Aura is always vigilant to keep me safe and without worry so I can spend my valuable time on other things, like making this this video. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can use the link in the description and the pinned comment, aura.com/anachronism, to start your 2-week free trial. I believe in personal protection, protecting your keep, and those in your charge. And in today's day and age, that seriously includes my information online, not just the stuff in my house. So check out the link in the description, and a huge thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video.
I'd give anything for some real elvish rope right now.
Make sure to keep some energy in reserve. You don't want to climb all the way to the top of a mountain and not have it in you to get back down. And you don't want to climb down into a canyon with no way to get back out again. And if it starts to rain, like it's starting to now, stop your climb and find some place safe to hunker down, because once these rocks get wet, they're very, very slippery, whether you have the right type of shoes or not.
And climbing takes finger and forearm strength that most people don't have unless it's specifically trained for.
Can't imagine being able to do any of this with my long sword on. And if you find yourself on sort of a steeper rock face with not a whole lot to grab onto, I found that going down sort of in this crab walk style is very effective, because if you feel yourself starting to slip, you got to keep your cool, which sounds very obvious, but if you tense up, you can't react as quickly and you might miss a way to stop yourself otherwise. But if you're going down this way and you feel yourself start to slip, just sit down or lie down. Get as close to the ground as possible, lower your center of gravity, and you are less likely to fall that way. Just try not to bounce if you can help it. When you're out here, it's important to make sure that you're staying on top of your hydration, because you're gonna need to drink more water than you think you need to and eat more often than you think you need to, and keep on top of your body temperature and monitor your endurance. If you are gonna stop and take a rest and you know you've overheated, make sure to put something on before you rest. That way you don't cool down too quickly when you're sitting. And if you're gonna get back up again and start to hike and you know that you're gonna get warm, take a layer off first, because you don't want your body temperature fluctuating up and down that quickly. Because even in the desert, it can get cold, especially at night, and especially if you're surrounded by these big rocks, these stay nice and cool. So just because you're out here in the desert doesn't mean that you're gonna be hot all of the time, or that you need to remove all of your clothing.
At the same time, canyons like this one can seem like great shelter, but be careful. In heavy rain, a canyon could easily be hit with a flash flood, and those are deadly.
This is pretty much the perfect location that you'd want if it's gonna start raining, which it looks like it is. I just found this by happenstance. This is the perfect location because it's not so high up that you're gonna get hit by wind. It's got natural shelter, but it's also not in a canyon, which is really what you want to avoid. Because out here, if it rains, flash floods are a major problem and they're very, very dangerous. So you don't want to be in a position where there's only one point of escape and you're right underneath a big mountain, because that's where those flash floods are going to happen. But out here, I got plenty of open space, plenty of room to get out of the area if I need to, but I still have the natural shelter here to protect me from the wind and protect me from the rain. So this is really cool. I'm gonna have to learn a lot while I'm out here. I wanna learn about the flora and the fauna and learn how I can listen to this new environment, because I'm not used to it. It's very dry, even though it's cloudy, to see how I know what the wind is gonna be like, how I know when it's going to rain, and just learn how to listen to this new space. But right now, I think I hear voices, so I'm gonna go see if I can meet some of the denizens of this new world. I'll see you next time. In the meantime, I'd like to wish you good luck on your adventures.